we discussed, our intention is to build what is shown here on this screen. So we're still proposing the 199 unit of this overall plan. Basically what this works out to is 16.88 units per acre. It's important to consider that a major element of the PD1 is to allow for a mix of zoning types and zoning uses that may not be allowed in other zoning districts, for a mix of residential and a commercial use that would otherwise require a split zoning. We've had numerous meetings with stakeholders in the community. We've also had a neighborhood information meeting, which we had good attendance. We had 18 folks that came out to that meeting. I think generally speaking, the vast majority of folks from that understand that this project is probably more advantageous in a lot of ways than what is currently allowed by right. That being said, that's not true for everybody, but we are working to try to alleviate any concerns that anyone might have.
There has been a lot of discussion recently within the county about the school district, and the alignment is shifting towards the forest area. And the schools over there are getting, overcrowded, and now we're bringing in more.
And what do you see across the line in Lynchburg, Rosedale? There's 700 units in Rosedale that are going to be rented or sold. I'm not sure what the business plan is. And then they're going to build some commercial properties on that Rosedale property. And I can't imagine the number of units that will come out. What's really going to happen is that's going to impact one of the busiest intersections in Forest, which is up the line from us now, Old Graves Mill Road and Forest Road. Down a little bit further, you go down past Bateman Bridge. I would never want to turn left to try to get onto Bateman Bridge Road as I'm going toward Forest, because there's another little dip in the road. There are people coming down that dip at a high rate of speed. Go over the top of that dip, and what do you see? This project.
And the more high density developments that we bring in, I agree with one of the other speakers. I'm not seeing a lot of the benefit within Forest and within our community. I'm seeing an impact on our children's education, but because it's Forest, I think that we will still rise to the occasion. I see our teachers and our administrators and our parents and our volunteers still showing up and still taking on the burden of the population, even when we have builders and developers coming in. And I would like to ask this commission to please consider the fact that I don't find it fair that this burden's being shouldered by all of those people in order to support a business plan of the builders and the developers. Contact with, whether I'm standing in schools or if I'm standing on the flag football sidelines, no one's happy about this. We wanted to see what the plan will be with working with the school board. We would love to see a really comprehensive plan of how to make this work and how to encourage growth in our Forest area in a responsible way.
There's certainly a need for them, and there's obviously a market for them. That being said, a number of valid concerns have been raised. We've heard both pros and cons. My background, anybody knows me, I'm definitely pro property rights and generally a supporter of new development. Change is inevitable. But as planners, we also have to be cognizant of what's going on. And unfortunately at times we have to say enough is enough. I'm certainly not talking of stopping development, but I am saying that excessive density should be limited. 16 plus units per acre, in my opinion, is too much.
I think we've pretty much stressed that area to the point that we're getting to the end here.
We do have numerous projects that are either have already gone through us and the board and are in the surveying site build out process, and those will be coming on in the next 3 to 5 years. We have tried very hard as a planning commission to be responsible according to the ordinance and the zoning. I live in this district. I travel these roads every day. I want to commend the developer for trying to hear from the public, to look ways to make this feasible. Density of the residential portion is just, I just can't get past it. When we come back to 3 to 5 years down the road, our school board and board of supervisors better get on the stick and figure it out, because it's coming.